Thanks for logging in. This is Module 2, Verbal and Oral Communication, which is what we're going to be discussing most of this, throughout this whole entire module. We're going to study the various aspects of both verbal or there are some nuances between verbal and oral communication. We're going to introduce you to a lot of classroom materials that just in the discussion board that get you familiar with the concepts of what verbal and oral communication is. And then from there, we'll move into more detail when we get to the assignment boards. So you will find a considerable amount of study data in this first group, but it's more general. Just understand that we're trying to get you caught up with the terms and the way people think about it, all the new findings that we're now understanding about verbal communication. And then as we get through it, we're going to actually, at the end, we have a really fun little survey, which allows you to go judge yourself in regards to soft skills. And soft skills is something we're going to bring up quite a bit when we move into this module, because verbal communication has a lot more to do with how well you verbally communicate, not just the words themselves. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and log in. And when you pull up your screen, you're probably sitting at this same screen. We'll go ahead and log in. And hopefully by now your computer remembers you. And we hit login. And we're going to go to Project Engineering PE100, Module 2, Verbal and Oral Communication. And as we get here, we see our discussion board. And this allows us to go into our classroom materials. Our classroom materials, this first one at the very top is the video that you're watching right now. So if you need to go back and refer to it, it's all there for you. And then we're going to start walking through. We see here 10 skills to thrive in today's marketplace. And these are all important things, soft skills or people skills. And in the old days, we never heard the word soft skills. But now, when you hear people speak of it, and mainly your newer, more human resource people that have been trained in this type of stuff, now call it soft skills. But in these soft skills, you'll start being able to see how well you are doing in accepting criticism, your flexibility, your problem-solving abilities, self-confidence, and it's just going to go through a list of all the things that it really requires to make a good marketplace impact to your employers and to your clients as well. As we move back, we'll see our next piece of material is how to help millennials fit the soft skills gap, which is most of you guys are probably at this stage. You're just breaking out into the new world of 2015. And this is just really a way to get you more positively oriented towards the future as you become better and better in your communication skills. So we recommend that you go ahead and read all of this data and just start getting a general concept of what we're talking about, what all these individual people have studied over the last 15, 20 years that are now part of our own deal. Some of these are kind of fun. This is 95% of your pain is created by your own stupidity. And we've all been down that road a few times. We fire off a letter and we think we said what we needed to say, and the next day it comes out completely different from once the guy reads it from the other side, and you're finding a way to try and, work your way out of that kind of a problem. So these are just, I'm here again to kind of, jot your mind, get you really focused in what you do in the way of your verbal and oral communication. And as we keep seeing here, we keep seeing soft skills in every one of these things. And soft skills really is a huge part of our education on communication. When we went through nonverbal communication, we realized that, guess what? So much of our communication is being accomplished through body skills and body language. And now we're sitting in a situation where we're not using it. A lot of times in verbal and oral communications, it may be over a telephone, it may be over a conference call. So you're not able to use your body language. So you really have to fine tune your soft skills so that the way you speak, the cadence of your voice, how often you pause, how well you listen, all of those are going to be major factors in how well you're received on the other side of that phone call. And it's also a matter of listening too. We've all been on phone calls and we call the guy and we can tell immediately that he's in a bad mood. And when that happens, guess what? We have a real problem with trying to overcome that part before we even get to our own issues that may be difficult as well. So this is all here to really help you start thinking about each and every part of how you verbally communicate with each other and what the importance is. When we move on down, the last part of this will be the self-assessment survey. And what we're going to do is just that survey, it's not a grade, it has nothing to do with anything but let you kind of look at what are you good at in the way of soft skills. And we started isolating it, and there's well over 100 soft skills that are important in everyday business. However, we've minimized it where the amount of questions in the survey are much less because we're only questioning about soft skills related to verbal and oral communication in this survey. But I think you'll enjoy it. Do it, and then we can give you some feedback once you've submitted those surveys on, wow, you're really good at this, but this is where you could really use some improvement. And here are some ideas on how to help you with that part of your skill sets. So that's really, in essence, what our discussion board is for this module. And as we move on, once you're finished with this module and you've completed your survey, just go ahead and jump back into the individual assignment. And then we're going to get into some real, very specific detail. So I hope you guys enjoy the class. Feel free to jot any notes back here. If there's a bunch of you guys wanting to share some information, come down here where it says classroom materials under the discussion board. And we can see the discussion board here. And then we can also see that the classroom materials are right below that. And then right here, we can create a thread and we can just type in the subject. I don't understand. And then you could just put a subject or whatever. And then once you're done with it and you've added your comments here, just create the thread and there you go. And it'll save it for you. And that way other people can come in and help you in the discussion board as you're getting through all this material. So with that said, I wish you guys all the best and keep us informed. If you need anything, make sure you drop us a message. You can see up here where it says messages. You can drop us a message anytime you want. So with that said, I wish you guys the best on this module and look forward to working with you in the future. So thank you very much.